Praise the Lord, everybody. How are you doing today? In case you don't know, I am Catrice Otango, the one and only, and I, of course, am coming on to post something via Facebook, via YouTube, just because, hey, I have a question that I want to pose to you, and I want you to answer it in all sincerity because I think there is some kind of misconception about uh, Christians as people and Christians as, other things. We have other things that we do, we have other things that we are, and we have other things that we're called to do outside of the realm of being Christians. Um, so, my question that I want to ask you today is, can a politician be a Christian? Can a Christian work in the secular world doing other things like working for the city, perhaps, or working for the government, or even working for, just a regular old company? Of course they can. That's a stupid question, you might want to say, but the reason I'm asking that question is because I think there is a misconception about separating who we are as Christians and who we are as a people. Um, I, as an individual, I, as a person, I, as an African American, I have my different belief systems. I have my different things that I do outside of church that, call for me to be other places, things that I'm trying to do in my life, um, things like that. And inside of that and outside of that, it calls for me to still display myself as a Christian, but yet knowing internally and externally that I am still a Christian. A politician, per se, can be Democratic or Republican. We know this from the churches we attend, the churches we're members of. We all attend churches, and I'm pretty certain that we can all say that we are not in a congregation where everyone is all Democratic or everyone is all Republican or everyone is all independent. I'm sure there is a variety of different uh, people who vote Democratic and who vote Republican or who vote independent. That being said, that would also mean that they have different views on what and how they see outside of the church. That does not make them less of a Christian. It does not make them less of a person. It does not make them less of an individual because they don't see the way you see. It just means that they have different views about how they think a society should be governed. That does not mean anything else because the bottom line when it comes to being a Christian is that we all acknowledge and recognize that we serve the same God. So, that being said, whatever I choose to use and display or talk about in my videos, if I'm speaking politically and I happen to put scripture in it, it's because scripture is needed for that particular basis that I'm referring to. If I'm speaking biblically only, then that's what I'll be speaking about. I'm not less of a Christian because I don't support any of Trump's views, okay? And so, you're entitled to your opinion about how you feel about what I say. You're entitled to post how you feel about what I say. What you are not entitled to do is presume that because I feel that way, that I'm less of a Christian. I'm just as much of a Christian, if not more of a Christian, as some other people. That doesn't mean anything because I feel differently about that. Let's get off of the whole I need to pray for anything. You don't know what I'm doing or what I do outside of Facebook. When I post a video, it's how I feel. And again, I'm entitled to feel that way. It does not make me less of a Christian to do so. So let's get off of that trying to debate with me about something that you know nothing about, especially the ones who like to post who absolutely do not know me. People like to get on there and say stuff to me, and you don't know me. You don't know what I go through. You don't know what I think about, and you don't know how I feel if I haven't displayed it via video or posted it, in written form. You have no idea, but technically, most of the time you will know because a lot of the things I feel, I'm very verbal about how I feel about things. And so I have no problem whatsoever getting that point across to people when I'm talking. Now, here's the other thing that I want to talk about. That being said, there are some people who, especially during campaign time, there were a lot of derogatory and mean things said when Hillary Clinton and Trump were running. And I eventually stepped back off of the platform and stopped posting about stuff because things were getting way out of hand in that behalf. And I stopped saying anything because of the fact that I did not want to draw that type of, division and attention, especially amongst, the people in my church. However, election time is over. The person who is in office is in office, and there are some things that he does that I don't like, and I've voiced my opinion about it. That does not mean that, you know what I'm saying? I didn't get on there and, dog you for dogging Hillary, So don't feel like, you only dogging me because I'm talking about somebody that you voted for. And you have the right to do that. But, if you're only dogging me out because of who I'm talking about, then your views are pointless because I'm basing what I'm talking about based on the actions of the person, the character of the person. And I have the right to do that. I don't think his views are correct. I don't think he is for the people, by the people, and with all the people. I think he's only for his type of people, period, point blank. And anybody who has eyes to see can see that. And so I have the right to get on Facebook or whatever media I choose to use and say that. It does not make me less of a Christian because I choose to do that. I don't get on here and cuss people out. I don't, get on here and debate with people. I voice my opinion according to the way I see it. So now, for those of you who are offended, now for those of you who have seen my posts, for those of you who have listened to my videos, you already kind of pre-know what I'm about to say when you already see a video. So that being said, if you know that you just seen me post a video and you already know that I might say something to offend you, then just like I spoke to the other lady earlier, you have the option of either unfollowing me or you have the option of putting hide this post, or you have the really big option of deleting me if I am your friend. And that being said, if you feel like you need to delete me because you don't like what I say, then that means that you need to analyze your friendship with me to begin with. Because if I can't get on here and express myself, and you not take it personally since I'm not speaking to you or about you directly, then I don't really consider us to be friends. Because, you know what I'm saying? If I can't speak my piece and still be okay with you as a friend, then guess what? You're really not a friend of mine. Because if you were opposed to something that I was for, then you as my friend and me as your friend, you would expect me to understand that and still be your friend. So if you are opposed and you are that offended that you feel like you need to unfriend me, then you're not my friend to begin with. And that's just plain old point blank the truth anyhow. So that being said, and I'm saying this because of whoever that lady was who got on my timeline and felt the need to say, well, I see your post on video. And I applaud you for coming on here. But then, she had an ulterior motive. It had nothing to do with the Bible. She was offended because of who I was speaking about. It had nothing to do with Christianity. But then as I sat there, I got to thinking about that thing. And I said, there are Republicans and Democrats who are Christians. And in that arena, they have to separate who they are as a person. You have to separate your Christian life, your Christian walk in life, from the fact that you're a Republican or a Democrat. You have to separate those things. When I'm at church Monday, Tuesday evening, Wednesday evening, Friday morning, Saturday morning, Sunday morning, when I'm at church on those days, I'm there for one reason and one reason only: to do the work of the Lord. Politics is not anything that is supposed to be brought up to anything when I'm in the church. When I'm in the church, I am there to worship the Lord in spirit and in truth, nothing else. Now, if I'm outside of the church like I am now in my home, you can see I'm in my kitchen. I'm here talking about what I'm talking about. And I have the right to do that. And I'm doing it decent and in order. And, I'm probably offending somebody, but that's just how you feel about it. But I have the right to sit in my house, make a video, post it to Facebook, and say how I feel about stuff. That's what Facebook is for. It's a social media. It's a way to get out what you feel about stuff. And it's funny how people are so offensive about those things, but they're not offensive about the things that they really need to be offensive about. I'm offensive about the people that are being oppressed. Be offensive about the things that really matter. You're offensive because I'm talking about who you voted for. That's not really a valid reason for you to be offensive toward me because I'm speaking to somebody you voted for. He's not going to put any money in your pocket. So you being offended about what I'm saying is totally unimportant, for real. So that shouldn't be a valid reason for you to be offended. Be offended about the things in this world that matters. That doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? Be offended about, things like the new Beauty and the Beast movie that just came out, where there's an openly gay man playing in that movie, where I watched my kids and myself, we grew up on Beauty and the Beast, and now Beauty and the Beast is now something else in the Beast, and I'm just kind of confused about that. That's something that we should be concerned about because our children are growing up in a society, well, not my children, but my grandchildren. They're growing up in that society today where open homosexuality is the thing now. So that's the stuff you should really be concerned about if you want to be concerned about something. Or war being caused over here in the United States because of things that are being said over the air. That's something that should be concerned about. You know what I'm saying? People getting put out of work is things you should be concerned about. Because I'm saying something, get somebody you voted for, they can put absolutely no merit to anything you do, that's not something you should be offended about. So, that's all I want to say. I just wanted to come over here and clear the air about that because, I really, I don't really want to say I get offended about it, but I do like to get on here and say verbally what I think about people who do that because, don't get offended because I have a right to say what I say, and don't get on here and try to say that I'm less of a Christian just because I speak my piece, because I have the right to do that. So, if you don't know me, again, you have the right to unfollow, hide post, delete, whichever one you choose. Like I said, I'm not posting videos to suit you. I post my videos to speak what I feel, to speak what I see, and to post my concerns. And that's a valid enough reason for me. And that's all the reason I need because the profile name that's at the top left-hand corner says Catrice Otango. So that gives me the right, number one, to post whatever I want on that behalf. And so now that part should offend you because that part was sarcasm. So, I just want to say that because I'm really sick of that because, if you're going to post your opposition, post it for a valid reason. That's not valid. So that's all I want to say. Have a wonderful, wonderful day.